Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this toke.
You're watching the Hi Guys podcast with Al and the other Al on the 420 Pace Project.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Hey, hi guy, how you doing?
Well,
You know, if we had started this show like 5 minutes earlier, we could have got you doing the audio for that cough.
I was doing it while she was doing it too.
Were-
You know, I when I made that, I tried my cough,
Yeah.
but it felt phony.
Ah.
So I used an AI cough.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, just so you know, anybody's watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, wherever it may be. I don't know if it's up here, or down here, or wherever. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, anyways.
Well, I know that once with the videos are up on YouTube, be it on 420 Radio, on Pace Radio, or on 420 Pace. If you notice, there's a logo down in the bottom right corner. If you click on that, it'll take you right to our YouTube channel. But that's only there after the video's been put out.
Ah, all right. Thanks, Shadow. Super. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Only
that.
the shadow knows.
The shot. Yeah, he's back. What? He, they, because we don't know if it's he or him, her. Or...
Don't use pronouns here.
We don't know. We just don't know. It just says the Shadow.
Don't care.
Right? I had a truck named Shadow.
It's like the IRC. You never know who's behind that keyboard.
You never know. That's right.
Now you know a little bit more because there's like, I mean, hi, I'm here, you know. And with video calling and stuff like that, you know who you're talking to usually.
Yeah. We both have ums. Okay, so today in the show we've got Al's got his list. We've got some recipes today, being it's playoff time in hockey. I got some game day stuff when it comes to recipes. We got some tunes. We got some product reviews going on, and of course we've got news, sports, and some entertainment throughout probably the next 90 minutes or so.
Wait a minute. I have a list.
What are we?
I have a list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thanks. Hey, just so you know, Shadow's got back. He's in I believe that's, he says PA, so I'm going to say that's Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And he tries to catch us guys all the time. Super. Thank you very much. Appreciate
I just
that.
read something about some changes to the laws in Pennsylvania, actually.
Yeah, I think there is some cannabis changes there. And if there is, Shadow, let us know, okay? All righty. So, what else we got today? I think we've reviewed everything. We got a video that you created. You told me that I won't like it.
Well, just because, you know, they tell the truth.
Well, I got an idea what the video is about. I'm just not going to say what it is, but I do know somebody.
As opposed to Health Canada.
Yeah, I do know somebody who does deal with that. So, right. Other than that, what else? Oh, in our later on in our events, we'll probably be talking about the Global Marijuana March that happened last weekend.
I don't want
to discuss it now.
No, I don't want to talk about it at all.
Oh, come on! There was 40 of us on the march.
Okay.
As we said, it was the dedicated old timers.
It was. Yeah, there were a few youngins. There was a few youngins, but not many. It was this. Let's put it this way. The people you would suspect to be there were there. And then the people that you wouldn't expect to be there weren't.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. It was
like, okay. So There was a comment that Amy Brown made that it's so different. Matt Myrna used to walk around and scream and yell in the middle of the road and cuss at people and call them out and talk to them about pot and blah 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 blah. Where's Matt now? On his farm.
Yeah, he's in his farm. Yeah.
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 I mean, like things have changed that much. We've lost.
I think it was Amy.
We've lost some voices that were huge in.
Oh yeah, yeah. My friend Steve Bacon, he would always you'd always hear him yelling and screaming and leading chant in those days, and you could hear them echoing off the building.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, we can't say let's get high or whatever, high, get used to it type thing. Come up with something.
At protests and events, there for the last 20 years, there have been many prominent voices in the cannabis community here in Ontario and all over Canada and the world. But the one that is missing for me the most is Tracy Curley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
you would hear two voices, the loudest, Amy Brown and Tracy.
Let's see. I see we got another message. Syntax says, "What's up, hi guys? We're just talking about the global marijuana march that happened last weekend. Just so you know, in Toronto. I don't know what it was like in other locations in other cities. I think you mentioned during the broadcast there was one going on in New York.
Yeah, Steve Bloom was at one.
Yeah,
which is our time zone. We've done the hey, if you at an event and you want to join in thing, but that's a lot of hours to sit there.
I say Syntax is from Detroit. Did you have a global marijuana march down there in Detroit? And I say down because we are in Canada, so we're a little, and we are in Ontario, so
I'm higher than you.
Yes, yeah. You're like 13 hours higher than me. You're still in the same province.
I mean, I'm higher than you.
Well, that too. Well, talking about that, what as the question asks,
what are you smoking?
What are you smoking, Al? You're fumbling all them words today.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I've got as far as smoking doobies, out this morning with the dog. I had a mixed doob. I'm trying to do the RSO version or the FICO version of buds, and that's just mixing a bunch of stuff in together to get it.
I do that all the time, bud. All the time.
Yeah. So today was Trophy Wife mixed with some Cherry Dragon and some CBD Dragon.
Oh.
So, yeah, I put some CBD in there, and so I mixed all three together and rolled a bunch of doobies up, about a dozen or so, and prepared for the day.
It's hit and miss though when you do that. Sometimes.
Well, I tried to mix it up good.
Sometimes, like if you know the strains you're putting in there, you can calculate what you're going to get at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's hit and miss, and it'll just knock you out.
Now, as far as a global march in Detroit, Syntax says that most events are like Hash Bash in Michigan are so commercially run. It's not like it used to.
Yeah, none of the events. Although, there are a few groups of people around Ontario that keep trying.
Oh, yeah.
There's some events we'll talk about later coming up. Some are legal, some are not.
Yeah.
And, the usual suspects are going to be doing events. It's summertime. So we've got a lot in Ontario. There are a lot. Well, in Canada, there are a lot of events throughout the summer that we'll talk about.
Yeah, as they come along.
We'll be here in Ontario.
Yeah. So there we go. So so what are you smoking? That was the
I
question.
I
Well, I guess
have
we're both Al, so
I have been experimenting with pens uh, because they're is significantly cheaper than ounces, but they last about the same 4 or 5 days.
oh yeah,
I mean,
okay, yeah. If you're
to
using them all
me,
the time, yeah.
right? And we'll talk about what I think about it later.
Okay,
But
product review.
this is called Jigglers, and it's a sativa live resin.
All right, we'll get into that at the product review.
Maybe if I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, syntax says you got to grow it, man. It will change your life.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, it sure does. I got it can keep you busy, very busy, as far as just maintaining and
We're working on it.
yeah.
I'm having issues up here with seeds because of where I am. It's still too cold to even start a seed right now.
I cracked some seeds there recently, and
They all came up.
yeah, no, half of them came up, and these seeds were probably 5 years old at
It
least.
it's still dropping down into the minuses at night.
Yeah, no, yeah, not here. We're still in the plus
I
10.
woke up this morning, it was 14 degrees in the house because I turned the heat down, right?
Yeah,
And
the shadow mentioned strawberry cough,
mm,
so I
yum.
was expected to cough, but yeah, I lost where I was
It's
now.
still too cold. Another week or two and it'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I looked at the long range forecast, and I was surprised that the highs going into the long weekend and beyond look pretty good. Actually, I
We've
know in the
hit
past it's
11.
been frost, so
We've hit 11 during the day, but like I said, it's dropping down into the minuses still at night.
yeah. Yeah. So as I was saying, I put some seeds in the pods just to
Yeah.
see what happened. These were 5-year-old seeds, and now I got myself the Northern Lights and a Bubba Gelato.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
little seedlings, hey, just little guys, just ladies. I'm gonna say ladies because they are feminized seeds. I know that on the
Are
package.
you now let me ask you a question. The Northern Lights I had last year,
Yeah,
and that is a sativa.
yeah. Oh,
And they are not a bushy plant. They're very tall and lanky.
okay, I think
Uh, are you going to be doing that outside or inside?
oh, it'd be outside.
Because it's been recommended to me not to do those outside. I
Oh,
have lots
really?
of Northern Lights. I have number twos, number threes, number fours. You know,
Yeah,
uh, the one that people are telling me that will go good here is skunk. So I'm going to crack some of those before I
yeah,
have a
yeah.
few.
Exactly, Centex. I was harvesting every 2 months when I was doing perpetual gardens inside. Right now, I switched to going outdoors as far as my main harvest end of things because during a move, things just aren't set up yet, right? So, but for now, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Been doing it for years.
And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to that point.
Oh, it's
And
you
if
get
nature
if you
would
get
allow
little.
me to, I would do it.
Now that I'm growing outside as well, you get your big harvest, but you can get some little harvests um, doing the indoor end of things, sort of keep some things fresh. And then maybe you can find new strains that you say that you test out. You grow them, you do a test during the winter in bloom, find out that you really like it.
Well, you know
And you
what?
keep that and throw it and put it outside in the summer instead of
Right.
waiting all summer to find out that the plant just isn't what you
So
wanted.
somebody told me, a younger gent told me who grew up here. He said that skunk is the one that people grow up here,
Oh yeah.
and it's very hardy, and it
Oh,
can
because
take
of
the cold,
yeah,
and
because
it
it's
can take
being
the cold.
Yeah, because being a sativa, you want something done as soon as possible.
Correct.
uh, yeah,
Another one would be Durban poison, I've heard.
I agree, syntax. Outdoors is fun. It is. It does. Keeps you busy too, just like indoors. Yeah.
I have to break out the duct tape this weekend.
Do you windows?
My greenhouse, yeah.
You're gonna have so many windows covered up that you won't be able to call it a greenhouse.
No, I'm going to just do along the sides, and this is just temporary until I get a replacement panels.
Yeah,
It's for $200 I can get a set of panels. It's not a big deal, right? But I'm looking at the corrugated, the stuff that's they clear and they use it for windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some
It
alternatives.
won't. It
For
won't
now, it's
seal
duct
it.
tape.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, the corrugated stuff. I don't think it'll seal.
But that's okay. Then there's airflow.
Well, yes and
Right.
no.
I have my auto window opening thingy is already functioning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yesterday afternoon it was 25 in the greenhouse with 5 panels blown out.
Oh, really?
And because
I've gone and you're still that warm.
Yeah. And the window was open as well. It opened itself. It's 16 in there right now, and it's only I don't know, 12 outside.
Is it that high?
No, 8 outside.
I was gonna
But
say
it's 16 in the greenhouse.
well, there you go.
Right.
That's good. Even with all those windows blown out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it gets sun, direct sun, from about, what time is it? 9. It's 10:20. From about 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, it gets direct sun pretty much.
Yeah. Before we get into the recipes,
No.
how's the bears?
You know what, dude? I have not seen any, but one of the kids said that they had an alert the other night in the backyard. So this afternoon, I'm moving my cameras around for different angles.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta replace all the batteries. They tend to die real quick in the winter.
The cold, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So ask me that next week. I'll probably have an update for you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Other than that, it's time for
I have no munchies, so be careful.
Okay. Well, I don't think this is gonna make you get the munchies. At least this one, anyways. Okay. First up, game day sub sauce.
I like subs.
Yeah. You like subs? Okay, there you go. You make yourself a sub, at home, and you got your own sauce. And the first thing right off the bat is 1.5 cups of cannabis-infused olive oil. 1.5 cups. Normally, I'm used to seeing, a teaspoon. 3/4 cups of balsamic vinegar, a quarter cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 2 tablespoons of dried Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of paprika, tablespoon of fine sea salt, 1 of garlic powder and onion powder, as well as finely ground black pepper. Place all the ingredients inside your magic butter machine if you have one, and secure the lid. Push the blend and clean button. Why would you? Oh, is that really?
It doesn't heat up as much as the other. I think it's like a really low setting.
Yeah. Okay. And when the cycle is completed, pour your game day sub sauce into a storage or serving container and enjoy. So
it's also quicker.
Yeah. No, that's the first time I've seen anybody suggest to do something inside with the hitting the clean button instead of a certain. The other one, right?
It's just a setting. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
just a very low warm,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's just it mixes the same. Do you have one?
Yes, I've got a few of them actually.
Have you ever figured out the sequence of lights? I mean, there apparently there is an actual sequence that the lights do
Oh,
when it's in
I just
different
see them
modes.
flashing.
Yeah,
I
I
see
just
'em.
see flashing and
Yeah. Exactly. Um, Good morning, Gordo. How you doing, buddy? How's Scotland today? All
boy,
right. So we've
let
gone
me
from
think.
sub sauce. Pretty simple,
We
pretty
got
easy.
sub sauce. Yeah. What's
Yeah. So
next?
you make yourself a sub, an infused sub. Now, also, I look at this as being game day related as well. And that is ganja nachos.
Yes, and they're quite popular.
Yeah, they're popular. So we got one sweet onion, one green tomato, if you like tomatoes, two red tomatoes, one jalapeno pepper, two cloves of garlic minced up, 2 tablespoons of beer. A light beer like Corona is perfect, they suggest. 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, tablespoons of
Corona
THC
beer,
oil,
the
six
COVID of
ounces
beer.
of tortilla chips, and 1 cup of shredded Tex-Mex cheese, and one ripe avocado. And dice it up. Would you put beer in
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that.
it? Yeah, I'd have some problems.
I had a small pizza last night, just in the oven,
Oh,
and I was up at 3 o'clock.
yeah, no. See, you got to preheat the oven to 350, maybe a little less. Some people were burning off
Yeah.
beans and stuff.
Or
Roughly chopped.
you could use your air fryer as well with this.
Okay, there you go. Roughly chop up your tomatoes, your jalapenos, and your onions. Add them to a blender or food processor with the garlic, beer, lemon juice, and THC oil, and pulse it 3 times so the texture becomes chunky.
Only
Spread
three
the
times.
chips on a baking sheet, cover with Tex-Mex cheese, top with several heaping spoonfuls of the mix you just made. Put it in the baking sheet in the oven for about 10 minutes until the cheese melts. Serve top with the avocado. So there you go. I'll leave that up there while I get the recipe posted in the comments. And nachos.
Next.
What's that?
I said next.
Next. Okay.
You know what?
What?
We had turkey on Sunday.
You had turkey?
Just to have turkey. You ever do that?
Not very often, but I think we have.
It was so good. I enjoyed it. There was no reason or anything to have a turkey. We just had
Made it
turkey.
that much more enjoyable, right?
There was no, you know what it was? There was there was nothing attached to it. There was just there was no Christmas. There was no stress. It was just here's food, eat it.
You eat it. Yeah, exactly. Gordo says it's a beautiful day today. Gordo, did you catch any of our global marijuana march on the weekend? Being that you're maybe looking at doing something like that down the road.
I believe I saw his name there.
Yeah. And so I saw it during the march. I think, yeah, that's right. So there you go. There's the nacho recipes, and there's the sub sauce recipe as well. And any questions on the recipes, Al?
No, thank you.
Okay. Even though I can't eat the stuff, I'll still show the recipe. So
so would I. But this particular recipe just doesn't appeal to me.
All right. Gordo says he was on with us the full time. He was there the whole time. Super. Did you come up with any ideas to get things going there in Scotland? Okay. Now, from recipes, it's time for us to, catch a little music. What do you think?
I think that's perfect because then I can warm my tea.
All right, sounds good. You got 3 minutes and 33 seconds to do that because it's going to take us. We're going to go from 420 to Memphis, and this is AI generated plus obviously human help involved in getting this song done. This is by Dr. High. You can catch him at Dr. High Music on YouTube. Here we go. We'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Been driving since sundown, still got a ways to go. Driving 420 miles, man, the road moves slow. Stereo humming, just me and my thoughts. Ain't no turning back, ain't no getting lost. Windows down, let the cool wind creep. And midnight highway got a soul so deep. Rolled one up cause my mind won't rest. Trying to outrun my past, but it's riding shotgun, I guess. Every mile got a memory, every song got a tale. Rolling through the south like a ghost on the trail. Street lights flicker, gas station glow. One more town, one more to go. Town, one more to go. Ain't looking back, got the windows down. Smoke in the air, whiskey on my mind. Leaving my past somewhere behind. Doctor High Road like a song. Keep that engine humming, keep moving on. Took a left down memory lane. Should've known better, but I go there again. Lot of lessons learned, lot of bridges burned. Guess you can't outrun the past at every turn. Saw a sign said next stop Tennessee, but I'm lost in my mind and where I need to be. Took a long deep hit, let the world slow down. All I got is the road and the sound. Every mile got a memory, every song got a tale. Rolling through the south like a ghost on the trail. Street lights flicker, gas station glow. One more town, one more to go. One more to go. Ain't looking back, got the windows down. Smoke in the air, whiskey on my mind. Leaving my past somewhere behind. Doctor High Road like a song. Keep that engine humming, keep moving on. The road don't judge, it just keeps rolling on. All these ghosts just fade with the dawn. One last drag, let the wind take my pain. By the time I hit Memphis, I won't be the same. Ain't looking back, got the windows down. Smoke in the air, whiskey on my mind. Leaving my past somewhere behind. Doctor High Road like a song. Keep that engine humming, keep moving on.
Ah, fuck! You caught me.
I was wondering whether you were going to get back in time or not. So there you go, 420 to Memphis. You're seeing the sign 420 miles. Dr. High, he does all genres of music and mixes things up. So I heard back there during the break from Gordo. And he says that he's joined the UK Cannabis Smokers Club, if I believe I remember that right. He mentioned that I think it was either during the march or he heard or mentioned it somewhere along the line. I know that
He mentioned it in the chat. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, see what happens. Got the fist pump there. And Shadow says that's off the
Snake.
what? Steak. Yeah. And he says sounds good. And Gordo agrees with me. Yeah, I got it right. The UK Cannabis Smokers Club. There we go. Good stuff. Now, from there, it's time for us to move on to find out what you think of that vape pen. Alrighty, you've got something and I've got something to review.
I have been trying the Spinach brand pen cartridges, 510 cartridges.
Okay.
These are distillates, but they're blended, and they re-add CBD and things like that. They are CO2, so
Extracted CO2.
extracted, yeah. So cold extraction, which is a good way to do it, I guess. Legal way to do it, but very expensive. I'm enjoying them. They're very flavorful. This
Yeah.
one is pink lemonade, and it's a sativa.
Yeah.
I have tried the hybrid and their indica as well. All quite yummy. One is a slurricane. And you know what? I'm enjoying them. They last, 4 or 5 days.
Are they does it say on there whether it's got added terpenes or added flavor agents?
Just THC and CBD.
Yeah, okay. Because I know like added terpenes. There's already terpenes in there, and they added.
Yeah, but they add, some of them do.
When it says added flavor agents, that concerns me because it doesn't really tell you what it is.
I'm not seeing any of those posts.
Yeah, no.
I'm being very specific when I'm looking at these.
Yeah.
I don't like your distillate. I don't like just THC. So what I started doing was looking at high CBD pens. I had one that was 35 milligrams. I had of CBD. This one has 6. The lemonade has 6.
And how's it treating you?
I've got a lot done this week, buddy.
Well, hey, that's a positive.
So that's the spinach pen. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're, I've done some reading on reviews, and they are one of the top cartridges people are buying. The other one that I've got here is a live resin by Tribal. Now, Tribal, actually, they had their booth beside us at one of those event thingies.
Oh, we had a Tribal something. Oh, that was at the Indigenous Cup, but I don't think it's the same.
That wasn't the same?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
But anyways, Tribal is a well known for live resin. The other one that I've tried is Liquid Diamonds.
Oh yeah, that's the one I reviewed last week. Was a Liquid Diamonds. I got the package right here.
There's a little bit in each pen, so I've got several different ones to use.
Yeah. Which one did you grab from Liquid Diamonds?
I don't. That was the adults only brand.
Oh, okay.
And NSW or what? NSFW or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have it here with me because it's dead.
Yeah, I've seen that and those 3 letters with another brand. Wasn't with these guys. And that was Jeez, I posted it too.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it at first.
1964. 1964.
Okay.
That was the brand.
I really enjoyed it at first, Al, and
Yeah.
then it became very choky.
No, that's what you were smoking on before when the intro was coming in, and you were coughing with the
No,
lady.
no. I'm talking about the liquid diamonds. It's very
Okay.
choky. Yeah.
I get a cough from it as well. The one I've got is Moondrops.
I like
Moondrop
this
Ice.
now, and it's not choky. But if you, as you heard before we started the show, if you get that overzealous call,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I found. And it feels back.
you have liquid moon rocks. Is that what it is?
Moondrops Ice.
Moon drops ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Never heard of them.
Yeah. This is an indica. Yep. Liquid diamond vape is what it says. So,
Now, but you do realize that's really just a distillate, right?
well, it says this is cannabis extract.
Correct. So they'll distill it, usually with CO2 now, and then they blend them together.
Well, the CO2 we remove would be the way that they remove it, same as whether you used alcohol or.
Correct. It's just another extraction method, but
That's what they use for extraction. That wasn't distilling, though. Product wise,
I'm seeing in their notes that they are distilled, and because at the end, in some cases, it says distilled 4 times for purity.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Al. What were you were?
I got myself some sauce. Product review. Hot sauce.
From Rena.
Rena, exactly. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
It's 25 milligrams per tablespoon, is what it says on the label. And it's full of peppers. It's got.
You're gonna have issues with that.
I got this at the Global Marijuana March from Rena, from her booth. And it was because I really hadn't seen any of that around. So I thought I'd grab some.
She's quite famous around Hamilton for her hot sauce, buddy.
Yeah, she invited us down.
I know. I heard.
Yeah. And what I did, what I planned on doing, but I didn't wait. I thought I would just put some of that on my chicken wings. Right. And then I thought, well, I was a little bit worried what I bake off the THC. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll just dip my chicken wings in it. And I didn't wait to cook wings. We just happened to have a rotisserie chicken that we had leftover chicken from. So last night for supper, I ripped myself up couple pieces of breast meat and dipped it in the hot sauce.
You could probably make a nice sandwich with that as well.
Probably, yeah. Actually,
that doesn't affect your Crohn's.
For the amount that
we don't know yet. You don't know yet.
Well, I had it yesterday, and I've survived so far.
Famous last words, Al.
Yeah, but it's moderation is the key when it comes to Crohn's. Right? So I put a little bit on my plate. Took some chicken and rubbed it through it. And when we were there.
You rubbed your chicken, did you?
Rena made a taco
the big thing somebody. Now at these events, at really any events, is you take a Doritos bag and you cut it open and then you load on all your stuff and then you've got a to-go bag of nachos. And
there you go.
all the food festivals have them now.
Yeah. Well, she was making tacos, and
Yep.
somebody had ordered one, and then they said, "Oh, can I put some of that sauce on my waffle?"
Yeah.
So they took the cap off, and I don't think they
Dumped it in.
realized, but it's an open end. It doesn't have a little squirt
Ah,
hole
ah,
on it, right? Poured it, no, whoa, holy smokes! So she got her tablespoon worth, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Uh,
I guess we don't need this global marijuana thing. Thing.
Now
There we go.
I see Syntax asked a question. You guys ever felt with PM in soil? I think there's some dealt.
Powdery
I
mildew.
can say
Powdery
dealt with
mildew.
PM in the soil. I just found a
Yeah.
plant with spots, 90% sure it's the reused soil. Is your soil drenched product you know of? I don't. Yeah, okay. He's got the word dealt down there as thing. I don't. As far as I haven't dealt with that within the soil itself. I've only actually had powdery mildew a few times when it comes to plant wise, and at that time I wasn't recycling my soil. Um, I am recycling my soil, and I haven't come across that problem. But I do know that powdery mildew does not like a high pH on the leaves. If you can increase the pH of the surface of the leaves, it'll kill off the powdery mildew. So I
How do
wonder
you
if
do
you
that, Al?
increase, huh?
How do you do that?
Some people use baking
Spraying?
soda. I just
Spraying?
use high water, just water with high pH. Just our water out of the ground is almost a 10. So that's all I've used. Now the syntax has got pH up. Now that is a chemical stuff that you would be spraying in there.
Yeah, I don't
But
want any chemicals.
yeah, it's in the soil. You could try. I don't know how big of an area that you're dealing with syntax, but you could try to raise the pH of the soil, whether it's in the pot or whether labs. Gordo says labs is another way. There we go. That's right. Now, Gordo,
What
with
do
labs,
you
so
mean?
would
You
that
have a
not
lab
be?
pee on your plants?
Yeah, with labs, would that be more of the organic way? Well, I guess yeah, syntax is in soil, but it doesn't mean he's growing organically. Because people still use salt-based foods in soil, but yeah, he's reusing. I'm sure he's gonna come on and tell me. Alrighty. From that, where we are product reviews, we've done a review on that. Oh, just so you know, this does have a bite to
Well,
it.
I got one more as well.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This does have a bite to it, and it does taste. It does taste pretty good. There, I'll just put a little jab on my finger. Yeah.
I'm not into hot sauce at all, Al.
No, eh? Well, this will clean out your intestines.
See you next week at the hospital. So I was at the store here in town at My Cannabis here in town, and I haven't been buying weed because it's expensive, and so I've just been using the pens. But I decided to get. What I said was,
oh, you're right.
do you have any pre-rolls that have a few different doobies inside? It's not just for one pre-roll. I mean, you can go to and get a pre-roll and it's like $23. I'm not paying $23.
Oh, I've paid 40. I've paid 40
Exactly.
for one pre-roll joint.
Exactly. Not doing it. So he said, yeah, there's a product called, and it's from the legal store. It's called Dime Bag.
Dime bag. And what does a dime bag always cost? I remember a dime bag only cost $10.
$10.
Fucking 40
And that's
years
what this
ago.
costs. It's $10 plus you got to pay your tax, unfortunately. And
really,
and
still $10.
you get 4 2.5 pre-rolls. Four of them.
You're getting 10 grams. You're getting 10 grams. So you're basically paying $1 a gram, plus they're rolling it for you.
Yeah. Plus tax.
Yeah.
this particular
30.
strain is called Sweet Pocket Puffs. And here, I'll see if I can read this. Sweet aroma with floral and diesel notes. And it's got some terpenes. Total terpenes added is 2.40 or 2.40%. 23 milligrams of THC and 0.5 of CBD. And I like it. The taste isn't great.
Is each joint a different joint?
No, that's what I was looking for, but
they're all the same.
It's just little tiny tinies. But it's not bad. It's a nice, comfortable high. I'm leaning more to lower THC on the doobie side of things.
Yeah,
with some CBD, because as we're about to discuss in a little bit, I suffer from cannabis hyperemesis syndrome.
Oh,
Kidding. That's what the doctor says. Anyway.
The doctor said, yeah.
So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But
yes, we will be. Correct. Just to follow up,
yeah.
I was mentioning about asking about syntax, whether he grows or not in living soil. But just so you know, Gordo, he does. Just like myself, we both grow in living soil. Now, I haven't used the labs for anything, so I'm not sure.
What are labs?
I've seen people talk about it. It's actually, by the looks of it, it's a short form, and I just can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Well, maybe one of these gentlemen that keeps saying labs might tell us what it is.
Gordo, fill us in exactly what the abbreviation means. I sure will. All righty. Product review. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. We can move on.
All right. Then it's that time. It's time for the news. Got some headline news. I noticed that you posted in our chat the Health Canada notification.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's been going on for a little while now. But yeah, they're looking for input on cannabis health products.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can go to the
they want your input. Not that they'll use it for anything, but they want your input.
They want your input, correct. Yeah, exactly. Because you just we all put in all kinds of input before legalization, right? We don't, and there was a lot of stuff that got
you want to know if if you want to know what a product is going to do or how it's going to help you, you need to try it. Don't depend on somebody else for their notifications. Try it yourself, and if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, move on.
Move on, yeah.
But don't sit there and just listen to what's being pumped out by the barrelful. You need a little bit of everything, not just CBD, not just THC. Get your information right. Okay, what you got?
All right, and news-wise, what have I got? Nelson City Council to consider cannabis patio permit.
Bastards.
Jeez, we need those so bad. The company out there in Nelson, BC, he's asked for a temporary use permit that he can get for up to 3 years. And this would be for a cafe in the town.
For a trial, yeah,
exactly. It's for a trial. The owner is Brenton Raby. He's the owner of the cafe, and it's a building that he owns as well. He's renovated the building. He's owned it since like 2010. So it's
where's this?
This is Nelson, BC. Yep. It says the temporary use permit is valid for 3 years with the option for a third-year renewal and provides an opportunity to apply for a more secure zoning variance. Additionally, it would allow the business to avoid the city's clean air bylaw and restrictions on cannabis consumption spaces outlined in the city zoning bylaw, which is where we
that
get
would work here.
correct. Exactly. That's why I said this has got to be spread across Canada. He's confident, but he's nervous. He says he's been involved in the political policy, activism, and building renovations for so long that sometimes the business plan has been in the background. He says, I already have a business license, a health permit, a registered trademark, and a full cafe built and ready to go. And he's hoping that he gets this temporary use permit in hand. And he's actually looking for partners.
Do they have a smoke-free environment policy in BC like we have here?
Yeah, exactly. But this is a temporary use permit that can help him get around that. And it's for the patio, so it's outside.
They,
Right,
you know,
so
there's been a few trials in Toronto, and I don't know how or if they're still open or not. You know,
that was, closed. Now, apparently, this building used to be owned. It was the home to the Yahoo Cafe, and it was it is the home of the Yahoo Cafe, and it was previously the home of the Holy Smoke, a storied business in Nelson known as the unofficial head shop long before cannabis was legalized. So it's got some history in the building as well. He says it's a modern, ultra-modern space now, looking to serve tourists. He says cannabis spaces are driven by consumers' desire to socialize, and oftentimes they are not able to consume cannabis where they live. So we are a business that senses this latest demand within the cannabis community for social spaces and space where we can educate and move people forward in how they consume cannabis. Sounds a lot like what we did, 10, 15 years ago when we had lounges. A spot to socialize, a spot to educate, a spot to, consume cannabis. So, let's see what else it says here. It says, if approved, the Yahoo Cafe would be one of the only officially approved cannabis consumption spaces in BC and possibly all of Canada.
if that happens, it won't be for long because others will start popping up pretty darn quick.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know
see,
that in Toronto, they're skirting around the bylaws using the scientific research facilities. And you have to be a member, and you have to fill out some papers when you get there because there is a survey involved. But it's it's just a private lounge. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, whereas this is one that is trying to be open to the public, be a patio outside,
As it should be, like a bar.
Yeah, exactly. Now, they had a while back. They did a consultation about lounges and stuff. What would be required, and they said that after that, the restrictions on associations with another business in Section 5.1.7 of the CRS and PRS licensing handbooks have been removed. So those restrictions are gone. And the language restricting the promotion of a place to consume cannabis or spend time after consuming cannabis has also been removed from that handbook as well. So the laws are changing.
Now, is that handbook just for BC or is it Canada wide?
Just BC. Yeah.
But if BC can do it.
Yeah, exactly. If BC can do it, why can't get spread this across the country? Because I know, like Abby didn't Abby have a temporary permit for a weekend or something at the Hot Box, or was it at an event and the Hot Box was some type of sponsor? Yeah, there was something there.
She was at one time doing a patio trial that was sanctioned by Toronto at one point.
Yeah.
but it didn't last long for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
The climate changed, and when legalization happened, Gordo has answered your question
I
about what
see.
labs are.
He has. Gordo's lab stands for Lactobacillus. I can't even pronounce
Bacillus,
Bacillus. There you go.
lactobacillus.
And Syntax, he's got back to us. So they've got back to us. They said that they were was looking up products. Athena line IPM might work too, but I've never used their stuff. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Good luck. Hopefully it works for you. But yeah. Living organic soil. I posted a picture the other day. I was repotting one of my plants.
I saw that.
They say they can't grow. You can't grow living organic soil in 4-inch pots. Well, you saw the picture of the worm that's been living in my 4-inch pot for months. Well, that plant has been growing. So you can do it.
Look at that shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah. Because so many people talk about, big pots. You need a big pot and I can understand why. But I always grow in the small pots up to quite the height, and then before I switch them over. So, and if I've always done it that way, and I've been growing, with living organic soil for years. So, but you each your own. Okay, now talking about organic, what does organic mean when it comes to cannabis in Canada and people selling the product as organic cannabis at the legal stores? Wow. There we go. Stratcan just happened to have the answer to that. And they say, what does organic really mean in Canadian cannabis? And it starts off with the term organic carries a lot of weight in the food and agricultural industries, but when it comes to cannabis in Canada, its definition isn't straightforward. Unlike food products, which fall under the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the State and the Safe Food for Canadians Act, cannabis is yet to receive similar federal recognition. This leaves organic certification in the hands of a third-party certifying bodies, leading to some variations in the standards. Now, according to
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, Abe Singh, he blames it on a lack of federal oversight. He says the word organic has been usurped by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency when it comes to anything related to food. The Safe Foods for Canadian Act has not recognized cannabis as a food, so CFIA then says that they don't have to certify cannabis. Do you think cannabis is a food?
Oh, sure it is.
Sure it is. I know
Absolutely.
that I know of a leading researcher, Dr. William Courtney, that completely agree that cannabis is a food.
Absolutely 100%. Cannabis is the most diverse plant on the planet.
Yeah. And as I posted the other day on Facebook, you can just take your leaves, dehydrate your leaves, and add it to your food after you grind it up, or even
It's
just
a
take your
plant.
whole leaves, the
It's
fresh
a
leaves.
plant.
Yeah, remove the stem off the fresh leaves and break it up and put it in your salad that you're just about to eat.
A lot of people are doing this now, and even Haley's mom is trying it, microdosing cannabis.
Microgreens. She's using microgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microgreen,
And
and basically microdosing raw cannabis, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or juices and things like that, right?
Yeah. Now they say that there are third-party certifiers such as the Pacific Agriculture Certification Society, the Fraser Valley Organic Producers Association, and one called ProCert, which I've seen before.
More people to pay money.
Yeah. They say that these are the same people who certify our coffee, our strawberries, and our lettuce. Yeah. They say one of these certifiers, one of the key factors that they consider is the growing medium. If it's being grown in organic matter factor and mineral fractions, They say that methods such as hydroponics and aeroponics do not meet the criteria for organic. But there's no single body governing enforcing regulations. Let's see.
It's not what the Food Administration's supposed to do.
Yeah, and they have different they in the article they talk about different ways. Like, is organic just grown in organic soil, or does fully organic mean that it's grown in the sun, outside, where nature is, right? There's a fellow here from Coast Mountain Cannabis. He agrees that the term organic is thrown around a lot these days. It's Elliot Fromowich. He says it's and honestly, it's lost some of its meaning. Just because something is labeled organic doesn't mean it's clean or it's really natural. He says that at Coast Mountain, we think organic as alive and of the earth. We've also been using the same soil in our original grow room since 2019.
If you use
They
a
have-
synthetic organic product, is that still organic?
What's that? What was that question?
If you were to use a synthetic organic product, okay,
It's
like
organic
oil,
based.
there's
It's organic.
synthetic oil or real oil products.
There's
right?
food products out there that I have grown with in the past
that are synthetic.
They're organic
So-
based, and
But
they
if they're
do have
synthetic-
salts in them.
If they're synthetic, are they organic?
No,
So then if you're using a synthetic organic product, it's not really an organic product.
not as far as I'm concerned.
Settles that argument.
Now, so they Coast Mountain, they have recycled their soil 29 times.
Wow.
That's how they reused it for gardens 29 times.
Now they add things to it, obviously.
Yeah. You got to add nutrients to it, dry nutrients. They say to them, organic means avoiding synthetic salts. There's your question. Answer to your question. Preservatives, petroleum-based inputs, and solvent-based processing agents. Instead, they build the soil with carbon-rich matter, high-quality compost, humic, and fulvic acids, and probiotics, creating a thriving biome where microbes feed the plants. The results says the
That
flower
word
is better. Yeah, better terpene profiles, deeper aromas, and smoother, cleaner smoke. And now here's another company, Rubicon Organics. Now, according to them, their day-to-day practices to stay organic, their guidelines says genetically engineered products or organisms, organic certified fertilizers that nurture microlife in the soil, no synthetic plant hormones or growth regulators, only permitted substances for pest control as outlined in the Canadian Organic Standards, no intentional use of nanotechnology, no irradiation, certified packaging. Certified packaging that meets the FVOPA standards, biologically active soil as the required growing medium, like worms.
Yeah.
Mandatory composting of growing media, unless restricted by Health Canada, and I compost my leaves as well. Sunlight as a primary light source, with artificial light used only as a supplement, and trellis materials that do not leach prohibited substances. So they've got a list there of what that they require for to be organic at that company. You see the list right there that I just read off. Right there. And they get into other stuff. They say Rubicon Organics believes Canada should be included under the same federal governing bodies that oversees organic food products. They say it should fall under the federal governing bodies as per food products and allow
Isn't that Health Canada's job to do that?
Yeah. Well, the federal government should move them, or I imagine Health Canada could do that.
Well, I would think that that would be their part of their duties, would it not be?
Yeah. Yeah. You would think so.
They
So
would
there
be
you
the
go.
people
That's
that
what
are in,
here, there's. What's that?
they would be the people that are involved in the Food and Drug
Yeah,
Administration for Canada.
exactly. Yeah. Why not? Why not put cannabis under agricultural? It's a plant. It
They don't
grows in
want
the
it.
dirt,
They don't
right?
want it.
Like, would you put corn under Health Canada? It's a plant. It grows, and it can be very dangerous to people. I can't eat it.
It can pop in your face.
Yeah, fucking send me to the hospital. I see we got some comments. I'm getting a little bit behind in them. Gordo says worm casts are king, exactly. And I always top up my 4-inch pots with a fresh load of worm castings when I feed them. When I feed the plants. Syntax says that 1 gallons are great for testing F1 breeding products, and that's when I was probably talking about the 4-inch pots and stuff like that. And yeah, I use the 1 gallon pots as well. Goro says my oldest living soil pot is 6 years and still growing strong. Way to go, Gordo. Way to go. I tried recycling my soil years ago and I ran into problems with it. And then it's only been the last year and a half, I'm going to say last year, where I've been recycling and reusing my soil again. And I'll continue to do so. And the Shadow says worms are number one. That's right, buddy.
I'm going to mix my old soil with my new soil.
Yeah, the only problem is if you're using salt-based food, that salt remains in your old soil, and all you're going to do is add on to it.
I don't believe Floramax is salt-based.
No, you better look. Hey, if you can't read the words on the label, and they're 10 letters long,
I'll have to look. I never thought about it.
Yeah, it's a liquid. Yeah, I'm gonna say it more likely is. If it's not, it might be organic base, but other than that, and even that has salt in it. So
I'll have to look.
Yeah. Alrighty. So that's organic, and that is that. On the news end of things, you've got your video. Before I get into sports.
Yeah, let's do that right now.
Let's do that right now, and you can talk about your video.
I don't want to talk about it. That's why I made a video.
Well, okay. So this is a video on the CHS.
This is the HSP.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And as I mentioned, I know a fellow who has this. I couldn't believe it.
If you overdo it and end up feeling like you've got chest pains and nausea and basically everything that happens when you have PMS, they're going to tell you have what is it? How is it pronounced? Hyperemesis.
Why you could probably pronounce it. We can probably pronounce it better within the video.
The video will pronounce it. Yeah. So we're gonna watch the video and see what the video has to say, and then we'll be back.
All right.
Cannabis, a plant with a rich history, both revered and demonized. While many associate it with relaxation and euphoria, a darker side exists, a hidden danger lurking within its use. Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, or CHS. This condition is a stark reminder that even natural substances can have potent and sometimes unexpected effects. CHS is a severe medical condition linked to long-term heavy cannabis use. It brings about a cascade of debilitating symptoms, often sending individuals on a frantic search for relief. The medical community is still unraveling the complexities of CHS, but one thing is clear: it is a growing concern. As cannabis use increases, so too do the cases of this debilitating syndrome. It is a stark reminder that with increased access comes the responsibility to understand both the benefits and the risks of this complex plant. This essay delves into the world of CHS, exploring its symptoms, causes, treatments, and the urgent need for greater awareness and research. CHS manifests as a cruel cycle of suffering. Imagine a relentless wave of nausea washing over you, making even the thought of food unbearable. This is the reality for many CHS sufferers. The nausea is often accompanied by intense, debilitating vomiting, leaving individuals weak and dehydrated. Their bodies are racked with abdominal pain, a deep cramping sensation that adds another layer to their torment. And then there's the heat, a desperate yearning for scalding hot water, a burning desire for relief that borders on obsession. Compulsive hot showering and bathing become a hallmark of CHS, a coping mechanism to soothe the seemingly unending discomfort. These hot water sessions can last for hours, providing temporary respite from the relentless grip of CHS. This cycle of nausea, vomiting, pain, and compulsive bathing can persist for days, even weeks, leaving individuals physically and emotionally drained. Initially, CHS was thought to primarily affect young men who were heavy cannabis users. However, the face of CHS is changing. Today, it affects individuals across a broader spectrum. Men and women, often in their 40s and 50s, are finding themselves grappling with this perplexing condition. The surge in potent cannabis products, coupled with increasingly frequent use, has likely contributed to this shift in demographics. This wider reach highlights the need to dispel the myth that CHS is rare or limited to a specific group. As cannabis becomes more accessible, it is crucial to recognize that anyone who uses cannabis heavily and regularly could be at risk. One of the most frustrating aspects of CHS is the difficulty in diagnosis. The very nature of the syndrome makes it a chameleon in the medical world. Its symptoms mimic those of other common conditions, often leading to misdiagnosis and delayed treatment. Patients may find themselves shuffled from doctor to doctor, undergoing a battery of tests for conditions like pancreatitis, gastritis, or even cyclic vomiting syndrome, only to find no answers. The irony is that cannabis is often touted for its anti-nausea properties, making it even more difficult to pinpoint as the culprit behind the relentless vomiting. This paradoxical nature of CHS often leads to skepticism from both patients and healthcare providers, delaying the correct diagnosis and effective treatment. Unraveling the causes from THC to genetics. While the exact mechanisms behind CHS remain a mystery, research is shedding light on potential causes. Heavy and prolonged cannabis use, particularly high-potency THC strains, appears to be the primary driver. THC, the psychoactive compound in cannabis, disrupts the body's endocannabinoid system, a complex network of receptors and neurotransmitters involved in regulating various bodily functions, including appetite, mood, and pain perception. Chronic exposure to high levels of THC is believed to dysregulate this system, leading to the debilitating symptoms of CHS. Furthermore, emerging evidence suggests that genetic predisposition may play a role. Variations in genes responsible for THC metabolism and the functioning of the endocannabinoid system could make some individuals more susceptible to developing CHS. Beyond THC, exploring other triggers. While THC is a primary suspect in CHS, other factors may also contribute to its development. Synthetic cannabinoids, often found in products marketed as Spice or K2, have been linked to CHS-like symptoms. These synthetic compounds bind to the body's cannabinoid receptors even more strongly than THC, potentially leading to more severe and unpredictable effects. Interestingly, there are anecdotal reports of CHS being triggered by exposure to cannabis scents or even secondhand smoke. While more research is needed to confirm these triggers, they raise intriguing questions about the potential for even indirect cannabis exposure to impact susceptible individuals. Seeking relief treatment and the importance of abstinence. The cornerstone of CHS treatment is straightforward yet often challenging: complete abstinence from cannabis. Breaking free from the cycle of dependence is crucial for long-term relief. For those struggling with CHS, this means avoiding all forms of cannabis, including smoking, vaping, edibles, and topical applications. In the throes of a CHS episode, medical intervention is often necessary to manage the debilitating symptoms. Intravenous fluids are crucial to combat dehydration caused by persistent vomiting. Medications like haloperidol, a potent antipsychotic, and capsaicin, typically used for pain relief, have shown promise in alleviating nausea and vomiting associated with CHS. Topical capsaicin cream applied to the abdomen may also provide temporary relief. The long road prognosis and the challenge of relapse. Once diagnosed and treated, the long-term prognosis for CHS is generally positive, provided individuals abstain from cannabis use. However, the road to recovery is often paved with challenges. Relapse rates for CHS are dishearteningly high. The addictive nature of cannabis, coupled with the difficulty in accepting it as the root cause of suffering, can make it challenging for individuals to stay abstinent. The allure of temporary relief from hot showers and the misconception that it can't be the cannabis often sabotage recovery efforts. This highlights the importance of comprehensive support systems, including addiction counseling, therapy, and support groups, to guide individuals through the challenges of CHS and empower them to break free from its grip. A call to action: research, awareness, and the future of CHS. The increasing prevalence of CHS presents a pressing need for greater awareness and research. Healthcare professionals need to be equipped with the knowledge and tools to accurately diagnose and treat this complex condition. Public awareness campaigns are crucial to educate individuals about the potential risks of heavy cannabis use, especially as its legalization expands. More research is vital to unravel the mysteries surrounding CHS, including its underlying mechanisms, genetic predispositions, and more effective treatment options. As our understanding of this condition deepens, we can develop better diagnostic tools, targeted therapies, and ultimately, effective prevention strategies. The future of CHS research hinges on breaking down the stigma associated with cannabis use and fostering open dialogues about both its benefits and risks.
Wow.
There you go. The I can see where they said there was a lot of relapse happening, because there's a lot of people who went, what? And that happened to the guy who I know, who surprised me one day, and he turned down a toke because I know he was a toker. And he turned down a toke, and he says, "No, I got CHS." And I said, "What?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, "I got really, really sick." He says, "I couldn't believe it." He says, "I went into, didn't know what it was, right?" So he got admitted to the hospital, spent time in the hospital. Then and they told him what he had, and no, right? And he relapsed. He just wasn't, because he was addicted, as they used the term in the video, but it was the fact that he just didn't believe them that he had this condition, had really never really heard of it, and then started to consume, and he ended up back in the hospital again.
I ended up in the hospital. I came home and I did a bunch of oil, and I thought I was having a heart attack. So I called an ambulance and went to the hospital. And
Yeah.
the first thing the nurse said to me is, "Are you a cannabis user?" And then started explaining to me what this was. And I was like, "Yeah, don't even."
Just like my friend.
Yeah. Although I have not relapsed, I use it every day. And
Yeah.
although, you know what, I have overdone it, and I would equate that to greening yourself out, as we used to call it. Yeah, go have something to eat and have a nap. You'll feel better in a couple hours.
Yeah, no,
I've
this
never,
fellow said he can't even use edibles, because I said to him, "What about
it's never
edibles? Are
made
bad
me
for
throw
stuff?"
up though. Yeah,
He
it's
says,
never made me throw up.
"Yeah, no, it hasn't. Yeah, he
I throw up
said
from other things.
yeah, he was throwing up, and yeah, he got admitted. So he got it bad both times, and so he stopped. But
If I'm throwing up, I can bet you bottom dollars it's diabetes related, not pot related.
yeah. So it's it's,
But,
as I
like
said, more research is needed.
This is a conversation that we've been having for 10 years. And I just thought it was time to see what AI had to say about it, and I think it was pretty bang on. There are some concerns, of course, there are.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
There are some addiction concerns as well, but let's just also remind people is you can be, I'm being dramatic here. You can get addicted to just about anything, including masturbation. So,
Video games, all that stuff. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Alrighty. As far as that, yeah, it's as we've said for years now, cannabis isn't for everybody. And we're looking
No,
at
my
it.
sister
And it
can't
had,
use it.
yeah, yeah. I know that my son-in-law, he can't use it.
I
Makes
know
him
people
sick.
who have had to quit for various reasons,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
So, alrighty. From news and cannabis hysteresis syndrome, we're gonna move on to
All I want to know is how the Leafs are doing. That's it.
the Leafs won game one of the second round of the playoffs
So they're
against
still
the
in it.
Florida Panthers last night, 5-4. Thank you for that breakaway goal near the end of the game that made it 5-3 because Florida was trying to come back and made the game 5-4. So now also when it comes to last night's game, maybe the Leafs won, but they lost in the net, and that is because their goalie Stolarz leaves game one with an injury. It looks like the concussion watcher pulled him from the game. He was seen on the bench throwing up after taking an elbow to
Maybe
the
he
head.
has hypermesis.
Well, he wasn't toking out on the ice, but he took an elbow to the head. And he was removed by stretcher and by an ambulance.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's okay?
Um,
They don't know yet.
I haven't seen an announcement this morning, but we'll know, I'm sure, soon enough. And I seen on one story that they're looking at the head office reviewing the hit and the whole bit. And it's
It's hard to believe, the punishment that sport specifically puts on a person's body. And we had Sasha Lakovic on, who had a brain injury from all that. He was an enforcer,
yeah,
and it can rattle your fucking head, man.
it can. Now Stolarz, he appeared in 34 games. The Leafs finishing his debut year with the team at a 21-8-3 record with a 92.5% save percentage. So that's good.
So this is the goalie.
Yeah, this is the goalie that they took out of the game. So the guy that replaced him, he wasn't able to get a warm up when they pulled him from the game. They brought the other goalie in because of the way the procedures has to be done. If they looked at it as an injury, then that goalie would have got a warm up. But apparently, they didn't think it was an injury or something at that time.
Stats related, yeah.
Yeah. So the guy, the goalie had to go in there. Basically, he'd been sitting on the bench for half the game. He got warmed up during warm up, but. Yeah, so that goalie, he's played 42 games. His name, his last name is Wool. I'm trying to look for his first name, but he's played 42 games. His record was 27-14 and had a 91% save percentage. So he's got a good save percentage as well.
It's all about stats now.
Yeah, that's how they.
I guess it has been for a long
do.
time, though.
Yeah. So, but we'll find out at the next game, the next Leaf game. What's going to happen there, and I'm sure there's probably been already an announcement made today. I just don't have it in front of me. And also in sports, I got to mention the fact of the Professional Women's Hockey League. as well. They are being very successful because they have expanded not once, but twice. There's been 2 new teams added to the Women's Professional Hockey League. One is in Vancouver, and another one is coming to Seattle.
Already, it's only been 6 months since they've been
Yeah.
playing. Awesome.
Yeah, they're expanding again. Yeah, Vancouver and Vancouver and Seattle, and there will be 8 teams in the league
Does Toronto have a
next year.
team in the league? Does Toronto
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
team? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yes, we talked about it a few weeks ago
yeah.
or a
Toronto
month
has a
ago.
team. I'm trying. It's like a sword or something that they have as a
The
symbol. Yeah.
saber?
Saber is not quite a saber. Spectres or something, which
The
is
Spectres? I
I'm gonna
don't
say
know.
the Star Warrior version of a sword. I don't know, but something like that is what they're
The
called.
lasers?
So, but yeah, so it's good to see that they expanded. But it's unfortunate about the goalie who's been playing pretty good for them to get injured. Took an elbow to the head. So, alrighty, any more in sports?
No.
All right, time to move on. All righty. What do you got? You got any entertainment you want to bring up while I'm looking for something?
You know what? I'm going to save that for next week. I know that there's a documentary coming out on Netflix about the Doors, and I wanted to find the trailer, but I can't find the official trailer, so we'll wait until
All
I
right.
find it.
All right. Well, I got one event that I'm going to highlight, and it's, we are an international show, so it's an international event. It is in the U.S. It is in Texas. Texas Hemp Stock 2025. Hemp Stock is back now in Texas. You'll notice that the LK at the end of stock is in capitals, and that is to reminder of a fella. It's a dedication to somebody within the cannabis movement. I just can't think of their name right.
Okay.
So they got speakers, they got vendors, they got sponsors, they got all kinds of stuff that's going on. They got art. It's the inaugural. So this is the first annual event. It's Memorial Day weekend in the U.S., May the 24th, 25th. If you're going to Texas, this is where you want to be.
Or as we
The
call it,
mission
the
is to advance hemp.
weekend.
Yeah, advancing hemp legalization and sustained development through engaging education, entertainment, and industry innovation. The bands. It's a huge list of bands that are to appear at this event.
Nice.
And you can see the map. They even got a kids area. Look at that.
Cool.
Kids area. We got fire pit, activity area, family camping. There's a camping area. There's vendors for 21 plus. There's a Jack Herrera vendor village. Larry Kirk. That's the LK. Larry Kirk stage. John Sinclair stage. So you got 2 stages. Vendors village. Looks like quite the event. Music, DJs. I just can't read that poster. Let's just put it
It's
in.
way too small for me, buddy.
Yeah. One of the bands that is performing there is Los Marijuanos.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard of Los Marijuanos?
Oh yeah. They were
yeah.
on my
I got to
show
see him at the Treating
years
South.
and years and years ago.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah.
And he's the band is going to be there, and they're going to be cranking up the tunes. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let me see if I can find vendors, artists, speakers. I'm just looking to see if I can find all those list of bands. Oh well, they got a huge list of
Yeah,
speakers,
I looked at the
and
website.
here, I'll just bring it up here.
Pretty big. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Um, Paul Stanford. He's the guy. He's the founder of Portland Hemp Stock. Casper Leach of Time for Hemp. He's going to be speaking there. These are other official speakers that you can see in this list here. Elvie Muska. Do you know who she is?
No, I know
She is
Danny.
one of only a few. Yeah, she is one of only a few U.S. citizens that actually gets their medical cannabis directly from the federal government in one of those 300 joint
In the big
tins.
can.
Yeah, in the big
like
can.
Irving
Yeah,
was getting, or what is Irving?
correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And she's still
As you
getting.
mentioned,
He still
Danny
gets
Danny
his
goes
too,
there.
doesn't he? I think Irving gets his still.
As far as I know, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I know
yeah.
Danny. I don't. I'm not seeing and Casper, and that's it.
Yeah, I know of Paul. I've spoken to him,
Oh,
but it's been years since I've
Stanford.
spoken to him.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Harry
I don't
Hemp.
see any other
Yeah.
names that I know.
But that's a list. Even if you don't know, there's still a huge list of people that that's gonna be speaking there. Um, let's see what else. I'm just trying to see if I can find the music artist, but from the speaker back up to the top. Yeah, because I know that they have a list of music artists, and I think I finally found it. See if you know any of these people or bands. Oh, and not only do they have music, but they
Glass
also
blowing.
got
Yeah, I
glass
saw that.
blowing
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, glass blowing going on there. Here we go. Here's the music. And yeah, I'll be the same thing. There's probably a lot that I never heard of before, but you can see it just keeps going. Have you ever heard of Frank Nitti? I noticed they talked about him a bit, but I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't
Our
recall why.
last
I've heard the name.
days.
It's a
Mad
name that
Dabber
sticks.
710.
It's a name that kind of sticks out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard the name, but I don't remember why.
Yeah. Keeps going up. Grace the Enterprise.
I'm sure it'll be an awesome weekend.
Yeah, it just keeps going with, and the thing is, maybe you don't recognize the names, but you might recognize the music. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I saw them the other day when I was here at this website, Los Marijuanos.
I saw them on the
didn't see
list
them.
when I looked as well. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Yeah,
And they
Yeah.
would probably be up at the top.
I just probably spat over top of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, more than likely. Oh yeah, there they are right there. I found them right there over to the right. Yeah, so they'll be there. And yeah, it looks like a real good event. Anyways, it's too bad it's not here in Canada where I could just someplace we could
If it was a
attend.
Canadian
It's down
event,
in
I'd be
Texas,
all
but
over that. I'd be like, yeah, let's go, man.
yeah, exactly. So it looks like a
I would love
good time.
to. I would love to be a part of putting an event together up here, but would it be financially viable to do that in this area?
Yeah.
Maybe up in Thunder Bay area, they have they have a big concert on the beach up there in July, I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some pretty big names as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
They get a lot of country artists up there.
Yes, they would. All righty. Well, entertainment wise, we got another tune we're gonna play. Moonshine and Mary Jane. Moonshine. And then when we get back, we'll wrap things up.
Hi.
All right. Here's Moonshine and Mary Jane from Dr. High. Check them out, Dr. High Music on YouTube.
The ones who run the fire and the ones who burn the fuel. Granddaddy ran whiskey through the Georgia pines. Joints made them thick as vines. Me, I got both running through my veins. Born to be wild, got that outlaw name. Back road smoking, flask in my hand. Kicking up dust, I don't need no plan. Pass me that blunt, pour me that shine. We gon' be outlaws till the end of time. We don't sip slow, we don't puff light. Pour it up strong, roll it up right. A little too high, a little too drunk. Till that we living life, we don't give a damn. Moonshine in my left hand, Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice. Blue lights flash, they're trying to chase me down. Now I'm pedal to the floor, I ain't slowing now. Hide the stash, ditch the jar. Keep my boots running till I'm out this town. Back at the bar, we still going strong. Smoke in the air, whiskey in my song. The preacher said, I need to change my ways. Told him I'll pray, but not today. We don't give a damn. Moonshine in my left hand, Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice. Raise your jars, raise your joints. Here's to the rebels, here's to the noise. Here's to the ones who ain't afraid to live. Take a sip, take a hit, and let's do it again. Moonshine in my left hand, Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Keep the smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice.
There you go. Moonshine and Mary Jane by Dr. High. You can check them out, Dr. High Music on YouTube. Or you can just go to the, I know on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube channel, we've got a playlist of all his stuff. You can play it back to back to back at a party. You know, but you'll get the odd little commercial in it, though, because they do run commercials at the end. So, but there you go. Music. Yeah. Yes, Shadow. I agree. Yes. To be young, as he says. Alrighty. It's wrap up time. Anything that we've forgotten, that we missed, that we should be...
I'm Al Rap.
You're yes, you are. All right. Other than that, that's it. Let's see.
Hello.
No, to come up on the 420 Pace Network later today, the Mushy Moment is being broadcast.
Mushy moment.
The Mushy Moment, exactly.
Mushy
Other
moment.
than that, don't forget, catch Saturdays, re-rolled Saturdays, where we play all of our stuff again, back to back to back, a little bit of promo in between of the network. Other than that, it's nonstop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Starts Saturday morning at 9 o'clock for the first set, and the second set starts at 4 p.m. That's when we spark it up. And that way it runs through 420. So, alrighty. I see we got a couple comments. Gordo says, enjoy your day. Stay high, guys. We shall. And enjoying today's show. Thank you, Shadow. Thanks for enjoying it. Anybody who's enjoyed it, hey, hit that like button and share it. Share it around. Other than that, we're
Don't
out
forget
here.
to subscribe.
Yeah. Alrighty. Time to say bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. We'll
Bye
see
bye
you
and bye bongs.
Bye bongs. Yeah, bye bongs. Yeah, that's a good idea. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye. You're watching the 420 Pace, found at 420pace.ca. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.